Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. I am sick. My voice probably sounds a little different for you, but whatever. Let's look into what happened last time. The first thing that happened last episode was these guys rising up against the gold team government. So yeah, the other thing was the discovery of these guys. We saw these guys get independence, a war between Italy and Bulgaria. Oh yeah, the Sand team was also in that war. So like within Italy and Bulgaria, they were on the side of Bulgaria. Now with these guys actually just came to my mind. These guys weren't isolationists. But yeah, that's it that happened last episode. Let's see what will happen today. Well, first things first, Bulgaria's government completely falls. And this other guy who is basically trying to lead a military and like dictatorship, you know what I'm trying to say, takes over. Well, this ain't gonna lead to anything bad, will it? This new guy who's leading this military coup decides to put troops on the border of the Magenta team. What will this be for? Oh wait, of course, yeah, for this. So Bulgaria just invades the Magenta team without them realizing this. How the fuck did you not realize this? I have no idea. The signs were right there. Oh yeah, Romania joins in and steals this part. Along with this city. This one. So that's something. Bulgaria continues its rampage up until it like gets to this river. And then they just stop. And ask the Magenta team if they are like, you know, if they're open to cooperation. So like they can sign a peace treaty along this new border, and the Magenta team just accepts it, and just like that, Bulgaria is back again. I really hope they don't do anything stupid this time, like try and take over Italy. Yeah. The Sand team, I'm just gonna call it Turkish at this point because yeah, that's their actual name. Yeah, their actual name is Turkey, the Turkish Empire. So yeah, let's just call them that way. The Turkish are like, oh shit, look at the Bulgarians, they succeeded, let's declare war on these guys. And so they do. They take Sicily, they take this, and that's it. But they don't really take this upper northern city actually. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, Italy has just lost the war. Oh, these guys. I don't think that will lead to anything good. Let's move away from this part and focus over here, where these German guys decide to, like, you know, conquer some unconquered lands. Now, obviously, look at these borders, they look fucked up. So they'll probably do some exploration over here. Yeah, I mean, this is all just flat plain, so they are... Oh wait, they discovered a new river! And now they're exploring this river. The Italians who just, like, went around the mountains over here decide to, like, help the Germans explore over here. And yeah, this part of Europe is like just being explored now. So that's something. We actually see exploration over here down in Africa, done by the Turkish. But they don't really like exploring. They like to stick into the old stuff. So yeah, only this much exploring will be done. Let's focus on the Italians for a second. So the Italians, before this war, already had like a crippled economy. The economy was like suffering a lot because of all the conflict going on over here, you know, mainly because of some guys, not saying names, just not to trigger them. But yeah, their economy did not do that good. This war crippled their military. And at this point, yeah, the king is becoming quite unpopular between the people. And you know what that means? Now, as of right now, there is no actual revolution, but there are these small little factions within Italy that didn't actually declare seceding, but they're gaining a lot of members. Sort of like cults, but they are not cults. They're just more popular alternatives to the government that Italy has right now. And there are a lot of them, especially down in the south. One major one that is quite ruling over this area, the capital area, is called Rome. Obviously, since it's the capital, and it basically claims of northern Italy, along with some parts over here in the south, such as like this. But yeah, it is mostly trying to like do some reforms and all that, and try to get recognition as a political party, but the king is trying to abolish it, so we'll see what'll happen in Italy in the future. One of the kingdoms that are part of this union is seceding. Yeah, this is quite random, but they just did it. And the actual union is now scrambling to like try and take over these guys. So yeah, you can consider this kind of like a civil war. But yeah, this religious minority sorta, got its own kingdom. Then got taken over by the Union and proclaimed as part of the Union, and now we're here. We saw a large encirclement over here though. That is crazy. But yeah, it's not that easy to take over these guys though, because a massive counteroffensive over here, to stop them from taking the capital, is actually changing the tide of war. And yeah, you can already get the tide of war has been changed, and now we're seeing these guys win this war. Oh god, here we go. Total collapse, don't we? This area secedes from the Union, along with some part. This part of the Union just declares seceding. Hold on, let me show you how it actually. So I have this side of the Union secede, and not all parts of this kingdom decided to break away, which is why, yeah, we have some battles going on over here. Some quite bloody ones though. But yeah, this northern part will also like try and take over all this, do a counteroffensive over here, and like integrate this part. But it's not really like a success, because at this point the Union is falling apart. We have another part of the Union seceding, and at this point the Union seems like unsavable, but these guys keep fighting though. We see this part, the red team, yeah, they came back, take over these guys. Nobody joins this though, nobody's trying to do any land grabs, not even the Turkish. They are just terrified at what they're seeing. Look at all these border guards, Jesus Christ. The southern area breaks away too. So yeah, that's something, and begins moving up north, taking major cities along the way. So yeah, these guys are gonna just get crushed between two forces. And that is what happens actually. Just like I said, crushed between two forces. Blue team forces over here will begin moving into this part of the Union, which is a different kingdom. These guys are also thinking of seceding, but for some reason their government doesn't want to. So you already guessed by now. I think you already guessed by now. But yeah, a large part of this just breaks away. Union forces, yeah, they are just absolutely getting dunked. Also, these guys were like able to take over most of this. So now they have a coast, which is great for them. These guys just take over the capital, and yeah, this whole southern part freed completely of Union forces. Not so much as the north though, but these guys will continue fighting for themselves, and they're beginning to fight the other breakaway forces, especially in this area, as they want to take over this so they can gain a coast. They are successful at taking it, but we'll see what will happen. But yeah, they're coming towards the capital of these guys, so you know, they're trying to hold off to all the land they are having, so they have a higher chance of getting more land out of this peace treaty. They are trying to squeeze these guys, like these two guys are just sandwiching these guys, and it's actually successful. We see a repeat of what happened down south. Great. Red Team forces will do a landing down in the island of Cyprus and completely take it. Over here we have more of these guys just falling. But there's another thing. These guys are fleeing back to the island of Cyprus. So they just take it back just like that. And are building heavy fortifications around this island. So let's see what this will result in. But yeah, over here on the mainland, these forces completely fall. And now we just have this. On with this island. We actually see a siege of this island. Red Team forces slowly come closer and begin massacring all the soldiers left. Up until there's none. Yeah, we have a massacre going on. The Cyprus Massacre. Pretty uncreative name, but whatever. And yeah, this ends the Union completely. We'll have to see a peace treaty of this though. These are the borders that have been agreed upon within the peace treaty. The world is just shocked at what happened over here. Can't blame them. I'm not shocked because I had this whole thing in my mind. But let's go back to Italy though. Many of these factions that I just told you about became separatist movements. Inspired by what happened over here, one of them, called Rome, I already talked about it, decides that they're gonna form their own country. These provinces break away. The Italians, like the Italian government, is shocked at what is going on. I mean, these guys are just beginning to rampage around the peninsula up north. What the hell? I thought these guys were loyal men. Quote said by the Italian king. Like, no, really, the king thought these guys were loyal men since they once served in the military. Does he know the fact that people change over time? More like promises start to break away. Down the south, yeah, all these factions just broke away from Italy, and now there's only the north. That's what's going on over here. The Romans are having a rampage, that's all I can say. The Magenta team isn't doing anything about it though, because there's nothing they can do about it. Look at this. But yeah, Rome will just continue its rampage over here up until it's completely done with taking over all this. And yeah, Italy has fallen. All because, yeah, over here these guys have fallen. This is just what happened. So, let's see what will happen next. Nations across the known world. Yeah, they're getting paranoid right now. Because two countries have fallen one after the other. And now everyone's wondering who is next. Who comes next on this list? Who's gonna fall next? I don't know. We'll have to find out the next episode though. So yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you enjoyed the video. And goodbye.